I died, choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as sharp as the knife that plunged into my side. Not some random mugger in a dark alley, no. It was my husband, Ethan. His eyes cold as the marble floor of our McMansion kitchen, whispering for the family as he twisted the blade. And just like that, the world went black, my screams echoing into nothing. But death isn't the end, it's a goddamn reset button. And when I gasped awake in my old sorority bedroom, the calendar on the wall screaming 2018, I knew I'd been given one more shot to bury those bastards alive. The first thing that hit me was the smell, cheap vanilla candle wax and stale pizza boxes from last night's cram session. I bolted upright in my twin bed, sheets tangled around my legs like restraints, heart slamming against my ribs. My hands younger, unscarred, nails not yet chipped from scrubbing toilets in that hellish internship, flew to my stomach.
No wound.
No pain. Just the faint ache of a hangover from too many Jager bombs at the Delta Gamma mixer. I stumbled to the mirror. And there she was, Alexis Harper, 22. Wide-eyed junior at UCLA. With the messy blonde bob and the freckles that made frat boys call me cute instead of killer. But I wasn't her anymore. I was the 35-year-old version. The one who'd clawed her way into a loveless marriage, built an empire on lies, and ended up gutted like a fish in her own home.
重生.
Reborn. Whatever you call it. It was real, and it burned hotter than the rage I'd carried to my grave. I laughed then, a jagged sound that scared the crap out of me. Ethan Caldwell, charming trust fund prince. Heir to Caldwell Realty. The kind of guy who quoted Hemingway at parties but couldn't spell it without autocorrect, was out there, probably schmoozing some co-ed right now. And his mother,
Victoria Vicky Caldwell.
the ice queen of Beverly Hills. With her Botox smile and her pearls that cost more than my tuition, she was the architect of it all. I'd married into their world thinking love was the ticket, but it was the house. My house. The one secret I'd buried, so deep even Ethan didn't know until it was too late. It started innocently enough, back in this very timeline. Or timelines. Whatever. I'd grown up in a crumbling craftsman in Echo Park,
L'AS Crapien d'Herbely.
where my dad, a washed-up screenwriter, drank himself into oblivion after Mom's cancer bills wiped us out. The house was all we had left, a relic from the 1920s. With creaky oak floors and a backyard lemon tree that dropped fruit like guilty secrets. Dad died when I was 18, leaving me the deed, but with a lien the size of Texas from unpaid taxes. I was one bad semester away from losing it. Enter Ethan, tall, dark, and dripping with that old money vibe that made my knees weak. We met at a campus fundraiser for the film department. He was donating on behalf of the family foundation, playing the philanthropist. One thing led to another. Stolen kisses in the quad. Weekend getaways to Big Sur. And before I knew it, he was proposing on the Santa Monica Pier, ring glinting like a promise. But Vicky, she hated me from the jump. Darling.
You're
Spirited, she'd say, her voice like silk over razor wire, while eyeing my thrift store sundress. The wedding was a circus, 300 guests at the Bel Air Hotel, champagne fountains, and Vicky footing the bill with strings attached. You married our son, not the house, she'd hissed at the rehearsal dinner, her martini glass trembling just enough to betray the venom. I laughed it off then, chalking it up to snobbery. God, I was naive.
now.
Reborn and buzzing with the knowledge of my murder. I had leverage. The secret? That Echo Park house wasn't just some fixer-upper. Dad had squirreled away the deed to a mineral rights clause from the 70s oil boom, worth millions if the right developer sniffed it out. Caldwell Realty had been circling Echo Park for years, gentrifying the hell out of it. But they didn't know about my parcel. I'd hidden it, forging a quitclaim to a shell LLC in my name only. Buried in probate records, no one bothered to dig. When Ethan killed me, it was because Vicky had discovered it, blackmailed me into signing it over. And when I refused, they staged it as a tragic home invasion. The cops bought it hook, line, and sinker. No one mourned the gold-digging wife. I grabbed my phone, an ancient iPhone 8, buzzing with texts from my roommate about finals, and scrolled to Ethan's number. My thumb hovered.
Delete?
Call and scream?
No.
Revenge wasn't a tantrum, it was a scalpel. First, I needed armor. I texted my old study buddy, Marcus, the poli-sci nerd who'd become a cutthroat litigator in my first life. Coffee?
Urgent?
Then I hit the books, not textbooks, but the public records database on my laptop. By noon, I'd confirmed the lien was still active, but I had 3 months to pay it off. And Vicky's empire? Riddled with cracks. Embezzlement rumors, a whistleblower suit she'd buried with NDAs. Time to unbury. That night, I drove to Echo Park in my beat-up Civic, the city lights blurring like tears I wouldn't shed. The house loomed dark and welcoming, porch light flickering like Dad's ghost. I let myself in with the spare key, still hidden under the mat, because irony's a bitch, and sat at the kitchen table, dust motes dancing in the moonlight. I'm back. Old man, I whispered, pulling out the hidden floorboard where Dad stashed his rainy day files. There it was, the original deed, yellowed and crisp, stamped with the county seal. My ticket. My news for them. The next morning, Marcus met me at a dive on Sunset, nursing a black coffee that matched his perpetual scowl. Lex, you look like you saw a ghost. What's the play? I slid the deed across the Formica table. His eyes widened behind his wire rims. Holy shit. This is a gold mine. But why now? You were always cagey about this place. I leaned in, voice low. Because in 5 years, it'll kill me. And I need you to make sure it buries them instead. He didn't question the time jump. Marcus always said I had prophet vibes. We plotted. I'd accelerate the timeline. Flirt harder with Ethan. Lock in the marriage faster. But lace it with traps. I'd accidentally let slip the house's value during pillow talk. Watch Vicky salivate. Then, I'd loop in a shady developer, someone Vicky had screwed over in my first life, nursing a grudge hotter than Hades. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd be playing both sides, flirting with fraud to expose their fraud. But death teaches you, morality's a luxury for the living. By week 2, I was embedded. Ethan spotted me at another fundraiser. This time, I wore the red dress that made his jaw drop in memory, and it was déjà vu on steroids. Alexis Harper? The script girl with a killer smile? He extended a hand, Rolex gleaming. I took it, nails digging just enough to draw blood in my mind. Guilty. And you're the guy who's gonna make my film dreams come true. We bantered like it was fate, but every laugh was calculated. Date 1, Griffith Observatory. Stars mocking my secrets. Date 2, his yacht off Malibu, where I confessed my family's debt woes. Tears artfully smudged. He ate it up, promising to fix it all. Vicky crashed our third date. materializing at Spago like a bad sequel. Ethan, darling, introduce me properly. Her perfume choked the air. Chanel no.
5.
Weaponized. She sized me up. That pearl necklace, a noose of judgment. Charmed.
Tell me.
Alexis, what does a girl like you see in my boy? Adventure? Or stability? I smiled. Sweet as arsenic. Both. But mostly, him. Under the table. My foot nudged Ethan's calf. Affirmation for the audience. She thawed just enough to invite me to Sunday brunch at the estate in Holmby Hills. The Caldwell Fortress, 10 acres of manicured lawns, a pool that screamed "fuck you" to the pores, and a wine cellar stocked with vintages older than my regrets. Brunch was a battlefield. Ethan's dad, Reginald, a bloated ghost of a man who'd rather golf than parent, grunted approvals over his Bloody Mary. Vicky, though, she probed like a colonoscopy. Echo Park.
You say? Quaint.
Such. Character. I nodded, forking into my eggs Benedict. It's home. Dad left it to me, sentimental value. Her eyes sharpened. Family heirlooms. We Caldwells cherish ours. Translation, mine now. By dessert. She'd maneuvered an invite to help with the lien, offering a generous loan from the family trust. I feigned gratitude, but inside, I was scripting her downfall. As fall semester bled into winter, Ethan and I escalated. He was easy, predictable. Really. The sex was fire the first time, in his off-campus loft overlooking the Hollywood sign, but I kept score. Every moan, every whispered "I love you" was a brick in my wall. I graduated early, pulled strings with professors who'd owed dad favors, and landed that internship at Miramax, the one that launched me in life one. But this time, I documented everything. Emails, texts, voice memos of Vicky's advice calls, laced with condescension. Marry for love.
Dear.
But think of the future. The proposal came on New Year's Eve, 2018 fading into 2019 amid fireworks over the Rose Bowl. Alexis, you're my everything. Marry me? The ring was a rock, 3 carats. Ethically sourced bullshit. I said yes. Tears streaming for the cameras, his phone was always rolling for the gram. But as he slipped it on, I flashed to the knife. His face inches from mine. You should have signed. Vengeance pulsed like a second heartbeat. Wedding planning was Vicky's wet dream. She hijacked it all. Vera Wang gown, string quartet from Juilliard, vows rewritten to emphasize family unity. I played along, but seeded doubts. At the cake tasting, red velvet. Because irony, I accidentally left my laptop open to county records, the deed PDF glowing like a siren. Ethan glanced, shrugged. But Vicky? She cornered me in the bakery's back room. Voice a hiss. That property, it's more than you know. Isn't it? I blinked innocence. What do you mean? Her smile was a shark. Nothing.
Dear. Just.
Protecting our interests. By spring, we were hitched in a ceremony that screamed excess. Helicopters for out-of-towners. A fireworks finale that lit the night like my rage. Honeymoon in Tuscany, bliss for him. Reconnaissance for me. I snapped photos of his emails on the hotel Wi-Fi, Caldwell Realty bids on Echo Park parcels. Aggressive.
Undercutting locals.
Back home, the McMansion awaited, our starter in Brentwood, gifted by the in-laws with caveats. It's in both names, Vicky purred at closing. For the marriage's sake. but I'd lawyered up quietly. Marcus filed a prenup amendment. Buried in the stack, the Echo Park house remained my separate property. Ironclad. She didn't notice. Neither did Ethan. 6 months in, the cracks showed. Vicky pushed for kids, secure the line, while angling for joint ventures. I played coy, buying time. Then, the whistleblower hit, a front-page LA Times expose on Caldwell Realty's shady dealings, bribes to city council. Evictions disguised as urban renewal. Vicky called. Frantic. Alexis. Darling.
This is family.
We need that deed transferred. For protection. I met her at the estate. Storm clouds brewing over the hills. Reginald was golfing. Ethan at a meeting. Just as girls. She poured scotch, top shelf. Neat, and slid papers across the desk, a quitclaim to their LLC. Sign. And we'll clear your lien. 10 times over. Her eyes bored in. That MIL smile cracking. You married our son. Not the house. The words landed like a slap, echoing my deathbed haze. Rage boiled, but I sipped slow.
Steady.
Vicky. It's not about the house. It's mine. Dad's legacy. She laughed.
Brittle.
Legacy? You're a secretary's daughter playing house. Sign.
Or.
The threat hung. Unspoken. The knife. The frame-up. In my first life, I'd caved partially, buying time, only to lose everything. This time, I stood, crumpling the papers. Or what? You'll make me disappear? Her face paled. Did she hear the future in my voice? I walked out, heart thundering, and called Marcus from the car. It's go time. He chuckled dark. The developer's in. He's got dirt on her too, that accident in Palm Springs. The one she paid off. Controversial decision number 1. I'd leak it anonymously, torching Vicky's rep before she could torch mine. But as I merged onto the 405, doubt crept. Was I becoming them? Scheming? Lying?
Fuck it.
They'd killed me. This was justice. American style. Win at all costs. Summer scorched LA, and the heat mirrored the pressure cooker of our marriage. Ethan grew distant, buried in board meetings, coming home reeking of scotch and Vicky's perfume. Wait.
What?
I tailed him once. To a client dinner at Musso and Frank, where he and his mother huddled in a booth. Heads close. Paranoia?
No.
Memory. In life 1. That's where they plotted my end. I didn't confront. I recorded from the bar. Phone hidden. Audio crystal. She won't budge.
Mom.
The deed's locked. Vicky's voice. Silk-wrapped steel. Then we make her. Insurance policy. Staged break-in. Cops owe us. Chills ran down my spine. But I saved the file to my cloud. Encrypted. Evidence. The leak dropped the next week. TMZ ran the Palm Springs story, Vicky's hidden run on a rival developer. Hushed with 6 figures. The Times followed, linking it to current scandals. Caldwell's stock tanked 15%. Vicky blamed haters, but her calls to me turned pleading, then venomous. You did this, didn't you? That little whore from the wrong side. Ethan confronted me at dinner, steak au poivre. Ironic. Mom's falling apart. What's going on? Lex. I set down my fork. Eyes locked. Ask her about the house. And the knife she wants you to use. He laughed. Thinking joke. I didn't. That night, I slept with one eye open. Beretta under the pillow. Purchased that afternoon. Legal in Cali with my concealed carry from the range I'd joined post-rebirth. Fall brought the storm. Marcus's developer, Rocco, a grizzled ex-con with a grudge and a law degree, offered to partner on Echo Park. I met him in a Koreatown strip mall office. Air thick with kimchi and tension. Kid, your MIL fucked me on a deal in '05. Now we fuck her back. His plan, buy adjacent lots. Trigger eminent domain. Force Caldwell to bid high on mine or expose their bribes. My role? Sell to him quietly, but only after baiting Vicky into a felony. Controversial decision 2. Forgery. I'd plant a fake email chain, from Ethan to a councilman, offering kickbacks for my deed. When Vicky bit, forwarding it to her cronies, it'd be traceable to her IP. Felony wire fraud. But to plan it, I'd need access. Ethan was slipping away. Nights at the club. Lipstick on collars that weren't mine. Was it another woman? Or just the family's rot? I seduced him back. Lingerie from La Perla. Roleplay from our early days. In bed. Whispers turned to confessions. I know about the house. Baby. Mom's obsessed.
He sighed.
Spent. She's scared. Lex. The company's bleeding. Just sign it over. We'll build something new. I traced his chest, memorizing scars for the scar I'd leave. Never. The trap sprung at Thanksgiving. Family dinner at the estate. Turkey dry as Vicky's heart. Tension thicker than gravy. Reginald droned about stocks. Ethan picked at his plate. Vicky, eyes bloodshot from scandals, raised her glass. To family. And forgiveness. Post-feast. She pulled me to the study darkwood. Leather-bound lies. The offers doubled. Sign now. I hesitated. Then relented, pulling out my phone like for a photo. Click, her face. Papers in hand, mouthing the threat, or we'll take it anyway. But the real click was Marcus. Outside. Serving the subpoena. Cops swarmed, tipped by my anonymous call on the fake emails. Vicky's laptop seized, the chain glowing like neon gilt. She shrieked as they cuffed her. This is a mistake. She's the liar. Ethan burst in, face ashen. Mom, what the fuck? Chaos reigned. Reginald stroked out, literally, collapsing into the rug. Ambulance wail cutting the night. I stood back, watching the empire crumble. Ethan's eyes on me, not love, not hate, but dawning horror. You planned this. I nodded.
Slow.
You killed me once. Not again. He lunged, instinct. Maybe muscle memory, but Marcus's PI tackled him. As they dragged him out, protesting innocence, I whispered, for the family. Winter wrapped LA in smoggy chill. And the trials began. Vicky's first, fraud, bribery, attempted extortion. Her lawyer, a silver fox she'd betted for favors, twisted facts. But my recordings were gold. The Palm Springs hit-and-run resurfaced. Witnesses flipping for immunity. Reginald died in custody. Heart failure from stress. Ethan? Charged as accessory after the fact. Once forensics matched his prints to a staged gun in our safe, planted by me. Gloves on. To mirror the frame-up they'd planned. I testified in a packed courtroom. January frost on the windows. My voice steady as steel. She said, "You married our son. Not the house. But it was always the house. My home. My life." The jury diverse, Jaded Angelinos ate it up. Vicky glared from the dock. Pearl's gone. Hair limp. Lies. She's a gold digger. But the judge banged gavel on contempt. Controversial Decision 3. The plea. Marcus advised against. But I took the stand in Ethan's trial, offering a deal. Testify against her fully, and I'll drop the civil suit. Walk away clean. Reporters gasped. Was I going soft?
No.
It was the twist. His confession sealed her fate. But mine too. In exchange, he'd sign over his shares. Penniless. And the house, sold to Rocco for 8 figures. Funding my new life, a production company. Scripts about women who rise from ashes. But the real controversy hit the headlines. Wife's revenge or setup. Leaked texts suggest entrapment. Pundits on Fox and CNN debated. Was I vigilante justice or con artist? Protests outside court. Feminists chanting sisters over snakes. Tradwives decrying family destroyer. I didn't care. Ratings soared for my docuseries pitch. Climax came in March. Vicky's sentencing. Federal courthouse. Downtown bustle muted by rain. She shuffled an orange. A ghost of Chanel. Ethan testified last. Voice breaking. She manipulated us. Your Honor. But Mom. She pushed too far. Lies. Mostly. He'd whispered the plot in my ear that night in Musso. Vicky lunged at him across the bar, screaming, "Traitor, like your father." Bailiffs wrestled her down. The judge, a no-nonsense Latina with eyes like lasers, read the verdict, 25 years.
No parole.
As cuffs clicked final, she turned to me in the gallery, spitting, "This isn't over. Alexis." Blood for blood. I met her gaze. Reborn fire in mine. It already is. Ethan got 5 years probation. Disowned. Drifting to Reno with a bar gig. Last I heard, he was bartending for tips, quoting Hemingway to drunks who didn't care. I visited once, in a sterile cafe off the strip. Him gaunt, me glowing. Why, he asked, stirring sugarless coffee. To feel what I did. He nodded. Broken. I loved you, Lex. In my way, I left 100 on the table. Not enough. Spring bloomed in Echo Park. The house raised for condos, Rocco's win. My seed money. I moved to a loft in Silver Lake. Skyline view. Scripts stacking on my desk. The company launched. Harper Rising Productions. First film a thriller about a woman betrayed. Reborn stronger. Critics called it raw. Unflinching American grit. Box office?
Milio.
But the twist? On opening night. Red carpet flashbulbs blinding. A letter arrived at my hotel suite. No return address. Postmarked from a low SEC prison. Vicky scrawl. You think you won? Check the DNA. Heart slamming. I tore it open. Inside, a lab report. Yellow highlighter on the results. Paternity test. Ethan wasn't Reginald's. Vicky's affair. Decades old. With Dad's old writing partner. The Caldwell blood was a lie. The empire built on fraud. She'd known. Used it to control them all. And me, I'd avenged a ghost story. But as confetti rained and toasts rang, I burned the paper, ashes scattering into the LA night. Happy ending? For me,
yeah.
But in America, victory's just the pause before the next plot twist.
No.
Wait, that's not how it ends. Or begins again. Rebirth isn't a straight line. It's a goddamn Mobius strip. twisting back on itself when you least expect. 2 years post-sentencing. Summer 2021. I was at the top. Harper Rising grossing 150 mil domestic. Me on the cover of Vanity Fair as the queen of revenge flicks. Paparazzi swarmed my Silver Lake pad. But I'd armored up, gated community. Security detail. A Glock in my nightstand that felt more like Excalibur than paranoia. Therapy? Yeah. I tried it.
Dr. Anna.
With her soy lattes and process the trauma mantras. Called my vigilance hypervigilance. I called it survival. Ethan faded to a footnote. Last Instagram post. Him shirtless on a Tahoe hike. Captioned new chapters. Good riddance. Vicky rotted in Chowchilla. Appeals denied. Her letters piling unopened in a box Marcus called the trophy case. But the DNA bomb? That festered. I dug quietly. Dad's partner. Uncle Ray, boozy collaborator on unproduced scripts, had indeed knocked up Vicky during a 90s bender. Reginald raised Ethan as his own. Blind to the cuckoldry. It humanized her. In a twisted way. Power's a drug. Betrayal's the overdose. Still. Sympathy's a sucker's bet. She'd chosen the knife. Life hummed. Red-eye flights to Sundance. Flings with indie directors who quoted Sartre instead of Hemingway, progress. And a foundation for abused heirs. Women fighting family estates gone toxic. Echo Park condos thrived under Rocco's thumb. Affordable units mixed in per my clause. Karma.
Lita.
Then. The call came. October fog rolling off the Pacific. Me mid-pitch in a WeHo cafe next project. A biopic on a forgotten Black Panther. Unknown number. Nevada area code. I answered. Voice clipped. Harper. Static. Then a rasp. Lex?
It's
Ray. Uncle Ray. Dad's shadow. Voice like gravel after chemo. Need to see you. About Victor, your MIL. It's bad. We met in a dingy Reno motel off I-80. Neon vacancy buzzing like a migraine. Ray hunched in room 12. Oxygen tank hissing. Eyes watery blue like Ethan's but haunted. She reached out. From inside. He slid a manila envelope. Hands trembling. Wants a deal. Your foundation. Pull strings for early release. In exchange. Photos tumbled out. Grainy prison yard shots. Vicky whispering to inmates. Notes scrawled on contraband paper. She's plotting. Hired muscle. Ex-cons with Caldwell grudges. Target?
you.
And the kid.
Kid?
My stomach dropped. No, I wasn't pregnant in this life.
Or was I?
Flashback. That one-night blur after the sentencing party. Bourbon and bad decisions with a co-producer. Test came negative then.
But
Ray saw my face. Not yours.
hers.
Ethan's half-sister, 20 now. In foster care since Reg died. Vicky hid her. Paid hush money. The DNA? It's leverage. She'll expose it all if you don't play. Controversial decision 4. Dive back in. I could have walked new life. New rules. But blood calls blood. Even diluted. I flew back. Wired Ray for protection. And looped Marcus. Trap 2.0. His laugh was weary. Lex, you're gonna get us all killed.
But he was in.
Digging revealed the girl. Mia Caldwell.
No, Mia Torres.
Foster kid in Fresno. Sharp as a switchblade. Juvie record for hacking school servers. Vicky's spawn from Ray. hidden to preserve the empire's purity.
Ethan knew.
Buried in his trial transcripts, a vague reference to family secrets.
Bastard.
I drove to Fresno solo. November chill biting through my leather jacket. The group home was a squat bunker, chain link and despair. Mia waited on the stoop, 17, going on 40. Dark curls framing a face that echoed Vicky's cheekbones but with Ray's fire. You the Hollywood bitch?
No hello.
I nodded, offering a hand she ignored. Alexis. Ethan's ex. Your half-brother's mess is my mess now. We talked in the rec room. Ping-pong tables scarred like old wounds. She was whip-smart, coding apps for fun, dreaming of Stanford, but derailed by family drama. Vicky's letters? Blackmail fodder. Sign the appeal petition. Or, I tell the world you're a Caldwell bastard.
Mia spat.
I don't want her money. Just out. I saw myself, trapped air, fighting shadows. Then let's end it. Plan. Infiltrate Vicky's network. Mia hacked the prison mail system, gray area ethics. But fuck policy, uncovering coded messages to a parolee crew, led by a Caldwell foreclosed vet named Jax. Hit on me, staged car crash on Mulholland. Make it look like paparazzi chase gone wrong.
Motive?
Avenge the queen. I baited them. Leaked my itinerary, Vanity Fair follow-up photo shoot. Winding drive up the canyons. Security slipped, called off for a decoy. Dusk fell. Taillights winking like warnings. As Jax's black SUV tailed me. Heart in throat. I floored it. Radio blasting Springsteen for irony, born to run. They rammed at a curve. Metal screeching. But I'd prepped. Reinforced bumper.
Dashcam rolling.
I swerved, feigning panic, into a turnout. Jax piled out. Crowbar gleaming, not lethal, but message clear. Controversial? I stepped out. Hands up, but voice steady. Vicky send you? Tell her game's over. He swung, missed. Caught by sirens I'd tipped. Cops swarmed. Mia's hack tracing the burner phones to Chowchilla. Jax flipped an interrogation. Full confession. Vicky's orchestration on tape. Back in LA. Headlines exploded. A mile from hell plots Hollywood hit. My stock soared. Talk shows booked solid. Foundation donations tripled. But the real win?
Mia.
I pulled strings, scholarships, guardianship papers. She moved into the loft, coding my next film's security, calling me Aunt Lex with a smirk that hid gratitude. Vicky's appeal? Shredded. Solitary for conspiracy. Letters cut off. Ray passed that winter, peaceful in hospice, whispering, "Make it right, kid." I did at his funeral. Small affair in Echo Park. Lemon tree still standing in the park across the street. Ethan showed. Uninvited. Suit rumpled.
Heard about Mia. My
Sister? I nodded. Arm around her. Ours now. He walked away. Shoulders slumped. Into the rain. By 2022, the dust settled. Harper Rising greenlit a series, Heirs of Betrayal, Anthology of Real Estate Revenge Tales. Me executive producing. Controversial as hell, lawsuits from inspired by families. But ratings? Through the roof.
Mia thrived.
First semester at Caltech. Hacking ethically for the FBI internship pipeline. One night. Premiere after-party at the Roosevelt. Champagne flutes clinking. I slipped away to the rooftop. City sprawled below. Lights like fallen stars. A shadow stirred, Ethan. Nursing a beer. eyes hollow. Congrats,
Lex.
you built it all from ashes. I leaned on the rail, wind whipping my dress. Had to. You burned the first one. He stepped closer. Not threat, but plea. I dream about it. The knife. Was it quick? Lie or truth? In my memory,
No, ageni stretched eternities.
but rebirth taught Mercy's blade too. Quick enough. Go live your chapters. Ethan. This book's closed. He left, fading into the valet line. I stayed, toasting the skyline. Happy, damn near. But in America's script, twists eternal, the final page always whispers. What if she writes back? Twists don't stop at fade out, they loop. Relentless as LA traffic. 2023 hit like a sequel nobody greenlit, Mia's freshman year glitch. She'd hacked deeper than planned, Chowchilla's visitor logs. Uncovering Vicky's smuggled phone privileges. Bribes to guards for conjugal calls. Not to Ethan, but a mystery contact, the architect, code for someone pulling strings from the outside. My gut twisted. Vicky never quit, she evolved. We fortified. Mia's dorm got panic buttons. My detail doubled. But controversy brewed domestic. Board members at Harper Rising whispered, "Is Alexis stable?" The paranoia.
Dr.
Elena up sessions to twice weekly. Diagnosing PTSD with vengeful ideation. Bullshit. It was clarity. I died once. Trust was for suckers. The architect revealed piecemeal. Mia's code traced calls to a Cayman Shell Corp, linked to Caldwell's offshore slush fund, dormant since the fall. Receiver? A name from my first life, Lila Voss, Vicky's sorority sister. Now a Beltway lobbyist with real estate ties. Lila, the one who'd introduced me to Ethan at that fundraiser. All smiles and setups. Betrayals family tree. Branching wide. I flew to D.C. Cherry blossoms mocking the rot. Lila's office. K Street Glass Tower. Views of the Potomac like conquered territory. She greeted me in Chanel. Echo of Vicky, hand extended like a trap. Alexis, the starlit avenger. What brings you east? Lunch at a power spot. Quinoa salads and veiled barbs. Vicky sends regrets. Says you're persistent. I cut the dance. Tell her the hits stop. Or the architect crumbles. Her fork paused midair.
Poetic.
But houses have many doors.
Dear.
Warning shot. Back home.
Mia decrypted emails. Lila funneling parole cash.
Plotting a civil suit to seize my assets. Claim the Echo Park sale was duress-induced fraud. Twist. Forged docs proving I'd coerced Ethan. Controversial decision 5. Counter blackmail. I'd uncovered Lila's skeleton in spring cleaning, tax haven leaks from a Snowden-esque whistleblower. But exposing? It'd tank my DC distribution deal for the series. Marcus advised caution. Litigate clean. Screw clean. I met Lila again. This time neutral ground, a foggy bottom park. Benches slick with rain. Walk with me. She did. Heels clicking judgment. You're in over your head. Alexis. Vicky's rotting. But her web? Sticky. I handed her a USB, Lila's offshore ledgers. Redacted just enough. Pull the suit. Or this hits ProPublica. Your clients? Senators? Developers, they hate leaks. Her face drained. Botox immobile. You wouldn't. It's career suicide. I smiled. Vicky's ghost. Try me. I died once. Reputations are cheap. She folded. Suit dropped. Vicky's privileges revoked. But victory tasted ash. Mia confronted me post-call. You're turning into her. Lex. Schemes on schemes.
Kid had balls.
We argued till dawn. Her tears cutting deeper than knives. I want normal. Not this revenge porn life. I caved, sent her to a semester abroad in Berlin. Study coding ethics. Alone. The loft echoed. Scripts blurring through whiskey tears. Summer scorched again. And Ethan resurfaced. Not a call, a package. FedEx to the studio. A thumb drive and note. Lex saw the series trailer. You nailed it. But truth's uglier.
Watch.
Drive held grainy footage. Home movies. 90s filter. Ray and Vicky tangled in a beach house tryst. Post-coital laughs. Then, cut to Infinithan. Reggie beaming ignorant. The betrayal layered, not just blood, but love poisoned.
Why send?
His email followed. Mia's asking questions. About us. The real us. Us, he meant the marriage. The what-ifs. Or the knife he never wielded in this life. I met him in Tahoe. Neutral snow-capped pines. Cabin rental. Fire crackling awkward. He looked good, rugged. Therapy sculpted abs from CrossFit pennants. I didn't know about the plot till too late.
Mom.
She was broken long before you. Sympathy crept. Traitor. We talked hours. His Reno regrets. Bartending epiphanies. AA meetings quoting my films. You won.
Lex.
Let it go. Kiss happened soft. Snow muffled. Old fire flickering. Controversial as hell. Sleeping with the almost killer. Morning after. Coffee bitter. This changes nothing. He nodded. Everything. Fall brought the storm, literal.
Hurricane force wind battering là.
Metaphor for the subpoena. Lila.
Spiteful bitch.
Hadn't fully folded. Filed under seal. Defamation suit. Claiming my inspired by episodes libeled her as the puppet mistress. Discovery demanded my therapy notes, Dr. Elena's ideation rants. Press sniffed. Headlines. Revenge queen unhinged. Therapy tapes to spill tea. Board panicked. Stock dipped. Mia flew back. Defiant. Fight dirty. We did. Hired a hacker collective, ethical-ish. Berkeley grads, to dox Lila's donors. Russian oligarch ties. FARA violations. Leaks hit Axios. Her firm imploded. Suit withdrawn. But damage? My stability questioned. Deals wobbling. Climax redux. Vicky's final play. December hail. Me driving Mulholland again. Haunted route. Phone rang. Prism line. Guard voice. Inmate Caldwell requests. Last chance dying. Cancer. Stage 4. Irony's gift. I went. Plexiglass cold between us. She looked skeletal. Pearls replaced by hospital bracelet. Alexis. You came. No warmth. Make it quick. Her laugh wheezed. Always the fighter. I lost everything. But you. You're me. Reborn. Confession spilled. The affair. Hiding Mia to protect. The house obsession born of poverty fears. Vicky. Pre-marriage. Trailer park trash clawing up. Reggie was weak.
Ethan. Mine.
I did it for him. And the knife. Voice cracked.
She met my eyes.
First real since wedding. I'd have stopped it. But you fought.
Good. Pause.
Deed's yours. Always was.
Lie?
Truth? She slid a napkin under glass, scrawled will, leaving Mia her shares. Null, if contested. Forgive?
No.
But end it. She died New Year's Eve. Cell block quiet. No service. Ashes scattered per will. Pacific waves indifferent. Ethan and I split costs, truce fragile. 2024 dawned redemption arc. Therapy stuck, Dr. Elena's boundaries mantra. Mia graduated Summa. Google offer. But chose my team, family biz. Ethan? Faded again. Tahoe therapy ranch volunteer. Last text. Proud of you. Lex. Both timelines. Series premiered. Emmy's bait. Controversy gold. Episode 5. The deed reveal, lawyer in chambers. Documents flipping like fate. Vicky's line echoed. You married our son. Not the house. Cut to my character. Smirking. But I kept both. Word count. 1005. Part 3 complete. Cumulative 3040. File 4. You married our son. Not the house. Mills said. Then the lawyer revealed the deed. Conclusion. Epilogues are lies. Life doesn't wrap neat. Beau's optional. By 2025, Harper Rising was Empire. Campuses in Austin. Toronto. Me helming a writer's lab for Underdog Airs. Silver Lake Loft expanded to a compound, pool for Mia's barbecues. Guest wing empty, but hopeful. Dating? Casual. A cinematographer with tattoos and trust issues. No rings. Lessons learned. But the twist, the real one. Bike hitch laced with hope, hit spring equinox. Board meeting. Glass boardroom overlooking the hills. When Marcus burst in, face ashen. Lex. The lawyer. From the will.
Not Vicky's, mine. Post-death.
In that first life, I'd stashed a codicil with him. If I died suspicious. Assets to a trust for the betrayed. Triggered now. By my rebirth affidavit sworn. Sealed. Bats hit as it sounded. He laid it out. Conference table strewn with deeds. Not just Echo Park. Dad's full legacy. Mineral rights chaining to a fracking lease in the Permian Basin. Exploded value post-oil surge. 50 mil. Liquid. And the Caldwell shares? Vicky's death unlocked them. Tainted but transferable. Mia inherited clean. But with a caveat. Co-sign with me. Or forfeit to charity. We drove to the title office. LA's sun mocking gravity. Lawyer. A dapper Latino named Ruiz. Smelling of habaneros. Unrolled the master deed. Ladies, this isn't property. It's power. Pages flipped. Liens lifted. Clauses eyed forgotten in haste. Vicky's fraud? Backfired. Her quitclaim attempts invalidated. My LLC ironclad. The reveal. You didn't just keep the house. Emma's.
Harper.
You own the block. Gasps echoed mine. Mia's. Even Marcus cracking a smile. Headlines next day. Revenge widow wins big. $100 million empire flip. Pundits froth it. Rigged? Or karma? Protests reignited. Class warriors versus merit mythbusters. I shrugged on CNN. America's the game. I played to win. Controversial capstone. The foundation pivot. No more victim aid, now. Air Equity Fund. Buying back gentrified homes for original families. Echo Park pilot. Condos reverted. Co-ops blooming. Vicky would have hated it. Handouts. But her ghost? Maybe smirked. Ethan's finale came summer solstice. Tahoe wedding his to a yoga instructor with no skeletons. Invite slipped under my door. Scrawled. Witness. I went. Alone. Pines whispering closure. He stood at the altar. Redeemed glow. Vowing truth above all. Reception toast. To second chances. Lex. Thanks for the push. We danced once. Awkward waltz. No sparks. Happy? I asked. Trying. You? Born again. Mia walked me out. Stars pricking the sky. Think she'll haunt us? Vicky. I laughed. Only if we let her. Back in LA. Compound lights welcoming. I burned the last letter. Her napkin will. Ashes to wind. No by kitsch, just forward. But nights. When traffic hums and memories knife twist. I wonder. Rebirth once. Why not twice? If they come again, knives. Schemes. Love's lost, what then? Answer simple. American as apple pie and arsenic. Rise. Revenge.
Repeat. The end? Nah.
Fade to black. Roll credits.
Cue sequel.